Hello friends, welcome. My name is Marina. I'm the person behind Everything Marina Food Blog. Right here we bake macarons, we talk about macarons, we also bake other desserts. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and follow me for more recipes and tips about desserts, macarons, and everything else. In this video, I decided to record separate video how to package macarons. And you probably will think that why we need this video, why we even want to talk about this. I'll tell you why. I've seen so many bakers on social media where they showing how they packaging macarons, and then they probably giving to the customers if they selling, or they giving to the families and friends. And I found that so many mistakes made in the packaging, and I like to educate everybody, and specifically bakers who sell macarons. Just let's talk about packaging macarons. Let's educate ourselves. Let's do it correct and safe for customers and for yourself. I will not be talking about tools right in the beginning of this video like I usually do. I will be talking about each tool that I'm using to package macarons as we go along in the video. And right now I just want to say that we have that macarons. That's the main ingredient for this video, because we're packaging macarons and we're going to be giving to somebody. Or if you're selling, or if you're giving to neighbors, I'm going to be giving to my friends. I just want to show you how I do this, how to save, to do this, and properly to package macarons. I have these macarons and we bake them and we assemble them in the previous videos. If you look in at my channel, this is cinnamon cardamom macarons that we made last week, and I've been keeping these macarons in airtight container in the fridge like this, flat. It's been just a couple days and they are ready, they matured, and my friends will be enjoying them. Packaging right away, I'm just gonna tell you that my hands are clean and I'm not using gloves. That's how I work. If you prefer to use gloves when you're packaging your macarons, usually clean my hands, and that's how I work. All right, the main ingredient, macarons. We need macarons already matured. I would not recommend when you just assemble macarons and then you start packaging, and that's how you will maybe put in a fridge for a couple hours before you're giving to customers. That's not correct. When you bake macarons, when you assemble them, they need to mature in the fridge from 12 to 24 hours. That's the rules for macarons. That's how they become softer inside and will give you all the flavor that we made. Repeating again, airtight container, cover, and place in a fridge for 12 to 24 hours, and then you can package them and give to somebody. Or you can serve at the dessert table on a plate. But if you're giving to somebody, I would highly recommend to properly, correctly package macarons. Let's talk what we need to package macarons. Of course, you can give it like this in airtight container and say, here's macarons. But as a customer, I would not want to receive something like this. Yes, maybe if I'm traveling for a couple hours, yes, that would be a proper way. But if you selling your macarons, especially right now, holiday season, you want them to look presentable. If you're selling, it's really big plus if you assemble them and you package them correctly and the presentable way. That can higher your price like this couple dollars for sure. What we need to package macarons. We need boxes, right? We need box or some kind of container where we're going to be placing these macarons. I buy my boxes at Amazon, And if you need links, I will share with you just a simple white box. I prefer white for my desserts. I think then macarons looks really beautiful in a white box. Maybe for Christmas, if you can find red or green box, they also will look good. But white is always perfect for any seasons. And if you're selling macarons right now, or maybe for Valentine's Day or for Mother's Day, white is always good. My favorite couple boxes, and I'll show you how they look. Usually they come not assembled, but some of them they just really to assemble. And I prefer white boxes with the window. When I close the box, I can see macarons, and that's what customer likes to. They like to see macarons. So any boxes with the window, really big plus. This one I really like because it's really perfect size. It's not too big, and just sometimes if you don't want to use just a plain square, I think this is kind of long box. It really looks good. The square one also, this is from just different brand, but also with the window, and you assemble. Like you see, this one is very easy to assemble, and this one it's a little harder. Well, not harder, to be honest, it just takes a little time. But it's also very affordable box, and it's just different shape. It's a square. Just want to show you how it looks. Looks like this. So it's all up to you which one you like. It's really hard to find in United States round boxes with the window. But like in Europe, I know there is so many different boxes with the round, the round boxes. So if you can find round, that would be also really good for macarons, I think. But square, that's what is available. Another square, this is also from the same brand, but it's just different size. Smaller, if you may be selling 12 or 24 macarons. I mean, if you're selling just 6 or 8 macarons, that you of course need smaller boxes. Also with the window, easy to assemble. And boxes made this way that you just assemble, and you don't have to use any tape or anything. Usually it's staying strong and nothing separating. But if you feel that box is not secured properly, just use a little tape, and obviously use clear tape. You don't put like on a white box yellow tape, right? Or duct tape, the duct tape, the gray ones. So use clear tape, just tape a little piece if it's necessary. My boxes that I order, they all stable, and I don't use anything. It's very easy to assemble, and it all depends how many macarons I need to package. Then I pick the box. So right now I have not that many macarons, and I'll show you different ways. So it's all up to you. What would you prefer? All right, we have boxes, right? If you're making big orders, then I would recommend assemble all your boxes and then place macarons. It's just my way. I like to do everything in the batches. Assemble boxes, then I'm preparing boxes, then I'm placing macarons, and then I'm finishing, and I'm going to be returning back in the fridge those boxes with macarons. But if you don't like to do batches, then just do one box at a time. It's also fine. All right, I'm just going to use this one first, and I'll show you what the next step I'm doing. So the first step, I assemble box, and if it feels not secured enough for you, just use clear tape. But I think this one is fine. Make sure the box is obviously clean, and you were not taking this box from maybe top of your shelves where dust was. Make sure it's everything clear. Boxes come in a plastic wrap from Amazon or from other sources that I order, and I usually keep in a plastic. So when I take box from the plastic, it's clear, it doesn't have dust, anything. But at the same time, you always check, because you don't want anything in the box, right? We keep our hair not hanging right there and hands clear. We don't want anything in the box. As a customer, you will prefer clear product, right? You don't want any hair or any dust or anything else in the box with your dessert. The next step, what I'm usually doing, you see the box come just the box. There is nothing in. What I like to do, I like to use parchment paper and I place it straight in a box. When I put my macarons, so they're not touching just the box, they're touching parchment paper. And right here, I want to talk about parchment paper, that what I'm using, or I should say about paper or anything that you want to put on in a box when you're packaging macarons. I use parchment paper. Parchment paper could be different colors, and I prefer white. Because white box, white parchment paper. Just see if you want to use this parchment paper, that's not going to be looking good. It's just my personal preference. Parchment paper. What not to use? Let's talk about this. We don't want to use any paper like this. This is just a wrapping paper, and it comes different colors, different packages, you know. We don't want to use this for packaging macarons. And please hear me. We don't use this. This, first of all, has colors. This is very thin paper. Colors, obviously. Any moisture from macarons or from other dessert will destroy this paper. The food coloring from the paper, it will go to your dessert, to macarons. Maybe we'll just have a stains in a package, in a box. We don't use this to package macarons or any other desserts. Please hear me out. If you want to use paper, we use parchment paper. And I would not recommend using foil to package because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look professional. And you as a baker, you want to look professional and you want to give your product presentable, right? So I'm using parchment paper. Another thing, not this paper. And we don't place in a box something like this. And I've seen so many people placing white, different colors, all this packaging, wrapping, I don't even know how it's called, in the box, and then they placing macarons. Please don't do this. This is not for dessert. This for other packaging, for items, like for example, I received a package with the food coloring, and this is correct packaging. Yes, that's what we're using, but we're not going to be using something like this in our desserts. Parchment paper, please remember. Why parchment paper? Because it's, first of all, doesn't have color. There is no food coloring that can go to your dessert. Plus, it's very stable. It's not thin. It's made for baking, right? So obviously, it's good for packaging macarons or the other desserts. I buy parchment paper already cut it. This easy way. If you need a link, of course, I can leave for you. I buy from Amazon, and I like it's already cut it. It saves me so much time just to have everything cut it, and it fits my baking tray. So if I need something for other desserts, I just place straight in a baking tray. It fits. You can choose your size. There's plenty of parchment paper pre-cut on the market, so use your favorite. If you don't want to use something like this, anything buying from grocery store in a roll, as you know, parchment paper from Costco will work. But then you need to cut it, and I like to save my time. I buy pre-cut it already. But as you see, my box, it's smaller than my parchment paper. What I do, I usually cut for my box. the size. We're not going to be cutting a size of parchment paper just for the bottom of this box. We also need for the sides of the box. So right here, I'm placing my box like that, and then I'm kind of measuring, because I want my parchment paper be not just on the bottom of the box, but also on the sides. So what I'm doing, just placing like that, measuring kind of. If you want to use a measuring tape, it's fine, but it doesn't have to be perfect line with the box. It could be a little bit less, not more, because then you will have extra paper and it's not going to look good. Just using scissors and cutting this parchment paper. Just want to show you what I have. My box is like this size. My box is this size, and I have parchment paper a little bit larger. It's about an inch, because I want parchment papers be on the sides of this box and not sticking out from the box. All right? If you're gonna be using this, also just measure from different side, like that. This was just enough. Just need 1 inch cut it from this. See, if I have this box, then parchment paper will be that side. We just need about an inch sticking out from the bottom of that box. I hope you understand what I mean by all these sizes. So we have parchment paper box. What I like to do, I like to give a texture to my parchment paper. The next step, parchment paper, we're gonna place in the box. You see, that's what we have. This way, parchment paper will protect macarons from the box, from any liquid that may come, should not come, anything from your filling. Remember, if you're making correct filling, if you're doing everything correctly, there is nothing should be coming out from your macarons. But if that happens, it's fine. That's why we have parchment paper. It will protect. It's white. It will not give any colors to the dessert. It's just safe and correct way. We'll do for another box. See, I'm doing in batches everything, even just when I'm filming this video. I think it's really easy to package everything if you do in batches. I don't know, especially when it's for the holidays, when you're busy, and do everything in batches, save you a lot of time. So we don't need this parchment paper. Remember, I just want to show you as example. What else we need? I usually put macarons in prepared already boxes like that. And then let's place macarons, and then I'll show you the next step. Let's use this square box because I like this size. And I want to show you how I'm placing macarons. There is few ways to place macarons. You see this macarons filled with buttercream, so nothing running. If you're traveling long distance, buttercream is perfect. So I'm just taking one macaron at a time, and you can place flat like this in a box. See, like in this box, 4 fits. This way is really great, the flat way as I call, when you have macarons, for example, decorated with royal icing. So obviously you decorate on one side of the macaron shell, and I don't like to stick on a side. With decor, I want to see that decor. right? So I'm placing flat in a box, just like this. I have a few more. Then when customer will see the box, when they open, they see the core, right? That's my way. Flat like that. But another way to place macarons, we're gonna place them on the side. And the benefit of the placing macarons on the side, it fits more in a box. Plus, if you don't have any decor of the macarons on a shell, this is your way. You see how many I can fit in this box? So many. I don't even have enough for this box. I thought I have enough, but I think somebody ate my macarons from the fridge. My family probably. So you see, just this way, I should have more. Anyways, you get the idea, right? So this is another way to place macarons in a box like this. Great for buttercream filling. It's not gonna run anyway. It's stable filling and it looks really beautiful. So you can place macarons like that, or you can make different way. It all depends how many macarons you have and how you can feed them. And I would not recommend to sticking them. If something doesn't feel right, if it feels tight, please don't force macarons to fit into that side, because you will destroy macarons. And we don't want that really. Just showing you a little different way. You see, you can also place macarons like that. I would say that takes a little more space, but if you like, that's also other way. But my favorite, of course, is just lines of macarons. I think then it looks beautiful, and especially like for the holidays, if you have different fillings, obviously they're gonna be probably different colors, macaron shells. And you seeing on my social media so many boxes already where I'm showing you my macarons and different fillings. If you use different piping tips, the filling will be different. It really looks beautiful. You see, when you close box, that's the benefit of the boxes with the window. Then you can see, and your customers will also see that the macarons. See? Beautiful box. Then next, we're not done. That's not all. To close the box, it's not enough. We have to open it up, and I'll show you why. In each box, oh boy, I close it and I can't open now. If you have your home bakery and you're certified baker, it's important. And even if you're not certified baker, even if you're just giving to your neighbor or to your friend macaron, please include the note with ingredients. I have my pre-made cards. If you don't have printed cards, you can just handwrite or maybe print it out. But I have my cards, and you can see on one side it just says everything Marina and my food blog. But on another side, I have QR code to my blog, and I also have written that macarons, they are gluten-free, and allergies. I have almond flour, milk, eggs, chocolate, and it says keep refrigerated. And obviously, I'm placing, if you want to see closer, that's what I have. If you want to just put the different little description, please include that they gluten-free, that they contain almond flour, and if you're making like pistachios or hazelnut, that they contain nuts. It's very important. If you're selling, people need to know what they purchasing, what the ingredients, because of the allergies. Obviously, we don't want to sell and give to those macarons if somebody have allergies for almonds or maybe eggs or whatever, right? So it's very important to list ingredients, and also just said that macarons needs to be refrigerated, can be frozen. It's all up to you how you want to describe, but please include the card or maybe handwritten note, something like this. I have mine, I have different one, my cards were they almost identical, but on the side it just QR code for my lessons. If you want to learn how to make macarons, that's what I have. And if somebody sometimes asking me what I do for a living, I just give them card and they can look it up for my blog or YouTube channel or for my macarons lesson. But I also have another one. If I'm giving to somebody my macarons, I always include the card. I mean, this is like from the beginning. When I was selling macarons, that was my first priority, to make cards and to include in the box. So what I'm doing with this card, I'm placing with the ingredient, with the care, face up that people can see, or just putting like that on the side. Please remember, very important, include the card with ingredients, or maybe how to with the temperature. It all depends on the dessert. Right now we're just talking about macarons, but that will apply to any other desserts also. Then the closing box. What you can do right here, you can take a ribbon and just, it's all up to you. I don't do with many, but use a ribbon and make a bow. It's all up to you. But right now it's Christmas and I think red will be very popular, or green. Just make a little paw. And you see right away, because you have white box, the red is popping up. Well, obviously the orange macarons doesn't fit into this decor, but you get idea, right? White box, that's why I was telling you, white box will go for any occasion, any holidays. It's always good. You can always decorate with a ribbon for your choice of color, or maybe if somebody has birthday, you can have different ribbon. Like I have right here, it says Merry Christmas. It's a green one. It's also beautiful. I can include like piece of green also right here, or maybe it's gonna be too much. I like very simple, just not to mix so many colors. But I think something like this, when you sell or when you give to somebody, will be really good present. And you see everything done correctly. We included note with ingredients. As you see, white box, really great for any occasion, any holidays. The ribbon you can change and it gives that festive look. I'm just giving you ideas how I like to do and how correctly and properly to insulate your macarons and make sure it's safe for customers when they receive your macarons. But you can also decorate with the different colors, or maybe if you prefer your different boxes. I will leave all links that I use from Amazon. You're welcome to purchase, and especially right now for the holidays, I would highly recommend order boxes right now, because you know prices can go up or maybe late delivery. I don't want you to be without boxes, but there is always plastic containers that you can use. I would not recommend to use any bags to place your macarons, because you can damage shells and they're not gonna be as presentable as you like. There is always good to place macarons in boxes, and specifically boxes for about 1 inch wide. Don't use any tall boxes, they're for cakes. This is for cookies, pies, or macarons boxes. If you can find any different boxes, please let me know. I would love to see them. If you package some different way, please tag me on social media. I would love to see what you create for the holidays. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked this video. If you have any more suggestions how to properly and safe to assemble macarons in the boxes, please leave in comments. We can discuss. I always like to hear what other bakers saying and how they preparing macarons for sale or just for the present. I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.